Iglesia en las Naciones. Recibamos desde los estudios internacionales de Telegracia, el deseado de las naciones, el Rey de Reyes, Señor de Señores, al Doctor José Luis de Jesús, Jesucristo hombre.
Blessed with all spiritual blessings. Greetings to all of you who have gathered here to edify your lives with the Spirit that comes out of the mouth of the man Christ Jesus, which is the gospel of uncircumcision. Today's topic is nice and fresh, tremendous, never before given. Today's topic is the order of Melchizedek. I've never given this topic before. As the ministry goes forward, the Spirit also continues to reveal the order of Melchizedek. This order is like a treaty, like a common agreement. It's like the FBI of the United States. It has an order, like a company that is in charge. For example, the order of Melchizedek. In the past, there was a priesthood according to the flesh. But then God raises another priesthood, which is the order of Melchizedek. This is the order where God does as he pleases. On December 17 of 1973, the order of Melchizedek began. It manifested in the world. It had been still for 2,000 years. And that order in Jesus Christ resurrected him, gave him a glorified body, and took him to inaccessible light. But when the decree became manifested, it said it's time that the body in inaccessible light manifests and integrates into the vessel I have chosen for this time, called José Luis de Jesus. And that's what happened in 1973. The order of Melchizedek came and it integrated into me to carry out the ministry in the Christ gender. There are different manifestations, and we will speak of them a little later. Let's read now Hebrews chapter 6, verse 17. Thus God, determining to show more abundantly to the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things, in which it is impossible for God to lie, we have strong consolation, who have fled for refuge to lay hold of hope set before us. This hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which enters the presence behind the veil, where the forerunner. Keep that word in mind, forerunner. Forerunner, what does that mean? In other words, Jesus came for us as a forerunner, has entered for us, even Jesus, having become high priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek. That word forerunner is what John the Baptist was for Jesus of Nazareth. John the Baptist prepared the way. John the Baptist was a forerunner that prepared the way so that Jesus of Nazareth manifested. But since Jesus of Nazareth didn't manifest the entire fulfillment of what the Christ gender means in the order of Melchizedek, he came in as a forerunner inside the veil, and he prepared the way for a second manifestation. Today's system is waiting for a second manifestation of the same veil. But you need to keep in mind that that veil said, "You will not see me again." Therefore, you can't continue to wait for him. As they say, the blonde of Galilee. or wait for Jesus Christ to show you them the scars. Like the press has asked me, show me your hands to see if you have the same scars. It's ridiculous. They don't understand the decree of Melchizedek, the order of the decree in Melchizedek. So Jesus manifested like that and prepared the way, and that's what we can read in Hebrews 9:26. Look what verse 26 says. He then would have had to suffer often since the foundation of the world, but now, once in the end of the ages, he has appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. And as it is appointed for men to die once, but after this, the judgment. So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. To those who eagerly wait for him, he will appear. This is the Christ, a second time, apart from sin, for salvation. The ones that do not know the order of Melchizedek will not see him appear. It's the same spirit, but not the same veil, blessed. Are you following me? Because if he's a forerunner, he's a forerunner to the present, to present another veil, that it can't be the same one. If he was a forerunner preparing the way for a second veil, it can't be the same veil. Then he wouldn't be the forerunner, but the runner. The thing is, you need to understand the covenant according to the decree of God. God says he would appear a second time. Of course, it's the same one, but in different manifestations. In chapter 9, it says he put away sin. So if he removed sin, what happened? By taking sin out of the way, he destroyed the devil. He destroyed Satan. Because people think that Satan exists because they see evil. They see situations in the world like crimes. But they have not understood that those crimes come from the disorderly passions of our flesh. Paul said it in Romans 7. In my flesh nothing good dwells. Now, that doesn't mean it's the devil. Look at what Hebrews 2:14 says. Inasmuch then as the children have partaken of flesh and blood, he himself likewise shared in the same, that through death he might destroy him. Death was going to destroy the devil. Why? That through death he might destroy him who had the power of death. This is the devil. The power of death meant that all that sinned were dismissed from the glory of God. That's the power. But once Christ removed sin, the power crumbled and became nothing. And so, the topic of today, the order of Melchizedek, the decree, the agreement, the treaty of Melchizedek, that order has an end. One day, that order has to end because it was added by the Leviticus human priesthood. A more excellent priesthood was added, which is the one of Melchizedek. And as I said in the department of God, he does as he wishes. He can appear as a mule, he can appear as an angel of Jehovah, he can appear in different ways. He gives the angels life so they can appear. Look how two angels appeared to Lot. And he washed their feet and all. They had a body, but were angels of God. I have had manifestations on this earth of angels that have taken care of me and then disappeared. You have also experienced this. I recall when I had an accident in Colombia that we were on our way to preach to a place, and all of a sudden the car broke down and a taxi came by, and the driver said, "Come, I'll take you." It's a brand new car. So there was an accident, and the taxi driver said this had to happen. These are things that have to happen. They can't be avoided. And when I got off to attend the person who helped me out of the taxi, I turned around to pay the driver, and he was gone. He had disappeared. Those are angels that Dad sends in the order of Melchizedek. All this is the FBI of God. Excuse me for using that example because sometimes things happen, but that department of God is where he uses his powers. This order has its end, and it's in first letter to Corinthians, chapter 15. Look at how verse 24 says, "Then comes the end, when he delivers the kingdom to God the Father, when he puts an end to all rule and all authority and power." Verse 25, "For he must reign," the veil, "he must reign until he has put all enemies under his feet." This is what Psalm 110 says, the fulfillment of the latter that will come, the man Christ Jesus. Verse 27, "For he has put all things under his feet." But when he says all things are under him, it is evident that he put all things under him. It's expected. Now, when all things are made subject to him, then the Son himself will also be subject to him who put all things under him, that God may be all in all. So blessed, this is a topic not appropriate for religious persons. This is a topic that is absent in the pulpits around the world. Actually, I was looking for the meaning of the word forerunner in the biblical concordance, and it's not there. They didn't put it because they couldn't find it. Today's theologists are ignorant. They don't know anything. Our children know the super rays no more than they do. The children know more in the aspect that they have more revelation than they do. The church today is not prepared to judge us. They don't understand. They have 2,000 years of delay. Imagine they're still waiting for the blonde of Galilee, Jesus of Nazareth, when they will no longer see him. The one you are able to see is the one you're seeing. That's the one you can see. The man, Christ Jesus, and the powerful gospel he preaches that affects your life and takes you to another glory and gives you a confession that moves angels, that moves the covering. Blessed, beloved church of mine, I receive, you have been edified.